Well, welcome everyone. It's 7 p.m. here in Australia, 9 a.m. UTC, looking forward to this online class. Today we're going to talk about reading the blockchain, which I thought it was a very good subject because it's one of those things that we never think about until we actually need to do it, right? And then we think, oh, crap, what does this mean? And how do I find out what my address is, or when I sent this money and to whom? And did I make a mistake? And so forth. So today we're just going to discover that, how we do that, how we read it, a little bit of background about the blockchain. We've already discussed that in previous online classes. We're specifically going to talk about reading it, trying to understand the transactions on a scan, on a website such as Ethscan or BSCScan. So let's start, first of all, again, with a welcome everybody to our online class, Reading the Blockchain. So blockchain. We've discussed about the blockchain previously. If you have a look at that picture that I posted earlier, which I'm going to post again. Let me just do that here now. There you go. Okay. So have a look at that picture, friends. Account ledger. Now think about a normal business, small, big, it does not matter. But every single business, even a family, if they've got a bank account or anything like that, they have a ledger, or they should have a ledger, where they simply record all the bank transactions, the financial transactions. In this case, you can see by opening up the picture, you can see the date, check number, if you write a check or if you have received a check, status, the details, check received from so-and-so because I sold them 24 eggs. Received, how much? Dispersed, how much? Balance, okay? So this is what we call an account ledger. So every time you receive or spend money, you would write every single transaction in one of those rows. And I think up to this point, we have it clear, right? Now, think about the blockchain as being the digital version of that account ledger. So imagine row after row after row after row. It records every single transaction, anything that happens on that particular blockchain. And for example, that is true of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, and so many other blockchains, pretty much every blockchain. As we also discussed last week, these transactions are very completely, in fact, transparent. All transactions are visible and verifiable. However, there is something to say about this. On the blockchain, the transactions might not be as easily readable as on this account ledger that I've posted here on in our chat. The other good thing is that because we're going to learn how to read these transactions, we don't need to trust anyone. So let's say that Pip says, "Hey, that competition we had 2 days ago when we were going to vote and help that project win the poll. Pip says that he's already sent the money. I'm not sure. I hope that I got it." Well, in that case, you're trusting me. The beauty of the blockchain is that, and the beauty of being able to read it, is that you can go on the scanner, Blockstream, blockchain.com, Ethscan, BSCScan, and actually verify yourself whether a transaction has taken place or not. And incidentally, getting back to that particular subject, I I apologize of running very late with that because I wanted to do it in a random way. So if I don't manage to do it tonight, as I said, it's 7 p.m., I will do it first thing tomorrow morning. But coming back to our blockchain, how do we see what has taken place on a blockchain? By means of block explorers. We discover what has happened on the blockchain through the blockchain transaction history on the block explorer. So, for example, let's do this actually. Let me try to share my screen. Okay, let's do this again. Ideally, without doxing myself again. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. Let me do this now. Okay, so this is BSCScan, all right? So we've got, in a second. Yeah. Can you guys confirm that you can see only my screen and nothing else? You don't see my hand? Thank you, guys. So, very good. BSCScan in front of us. So, I go here. There you go. So, this is the scan, the blockchain scan for the BSC network. All right. So, let me actually go to the home page, BNB Smart Chain Explorer. So, what can we do here? This is where we see what happens block after block on the blockchain. So let's pretend, and I'm going back here, this is a completely random address. It's not my address. It's not one of yours, anyone here. It's completely random. But I just chose it, out of millions of addresses to understand how this works. So let's pretend that this is actually your address, okay? So you go into your wallet, your Trust wallet, MetaMask wallet, SafePal, whatever, and you see that this is your wallet address. Now, one thing very important to remember is that your wallet on your telephone, in your computer, is simply an address or an interface, I should say, where you store the information related to this address. If that particular wallet gets deleted, as long as you have your private keys to this address, you can use any other wallet on earth to access funds and transact your funds. Okay, so remember, guys, the wallets that we're using are simple interfaces. They are not the actual address. They are tools that help us to interact with this address, which actually lives on the blockchain. Okay, this is a very important point. But let's say that you go to your Trust wallet, you want to receive BNB on the BSC BEP20 blockchain, and you find that this is your address. So you go to BSCScan, you have copied, and so let's do this copy. Put your address here, do a search, and you come back to the same page, obviously, because this is what we're looking at. So this is what we see here. First of all, the address, okay? Then you see an overview. The first block here is the overview, where you see the balance of BNB, because this is the BSCScan, Binance Smart Chain. If this was Ethscan, here you would see an overview with the balance in Ethereum. Then you can see the BNB value. So this is what BNB is worth today. This is how much BNB you have sitting in your address in USD dollars. Okay, US dollars. So let's say that you have only one BNB sitting here. BNB is at $600 today. This will reach 600. But then you also see all the tokens that you have here. So let's go and click here. And these are all your BEP20 Binance Smart Chain tokens that are sitting inside your wallet. So a lot of these ones are fake tokens. We've talked in the group about dusting attacks. Well, some of them are exactly that, like this one here, Archer or AZ Swap, the alpaca. They're all actually alpaca might be right. So they're fake. But these ones here, this person or this wallet owns $566 worth of cornucopias, copy, and $15 of wrapped BNB and a little bit of others, okay? So this is where you can see all the tokens that you own. Now, let's go down, because this is where things become interesting. This is where we actually see what has happened as far as this particular address on the blockchain since the very beginning. So you can see here, latest 25 from a total of 404 transactions. So this is only showing you 25. If you wanted to see more, you have to go here and you can see the full list. We don't need that right now. Okay, what are these transactions? These are all the transactions that have taken place with this address, and these transactions cost a little bit of gas, a little bit of BNB gas, and we see them here, okay? What about the second tab, internal transactions? These are all the transactions that had to deal with this address that did not cost any gas. So, for example, what could be one of these? Let's say that you participate in a pre-sale on PingSale, and you go to the pre-sale page, you buy 1 BNB worth of tokens, and you will see that here because you have spent some gas. But let's say that that particular project does not reach soft cap, or maybe they see that the pre-sale is not going anywhere, and they press or click on cancel pre-sale. This here is where you will see the money coming back into your wallet, because the smart contract, which has acted as an escrow service, as it were, simply releases back the BNB without you having to pay any gas fees. So the transaction will be here and not there. Okay, so that's why at times on PingSale we see people that say, "Oh, you know, I've contributed 1 BNB to this this particular pre-sale. It got cancelled, but I never got the money back." And we say, "Yeah, don't go to transactions. Actually, click on internal transactions, and you will see your money coming back here." Okay, interesting, isn't it? Now, what about the second one, BEP20 tokens transactions? This simply filters down all the transactions here to the BEP20 tokens. So here you can see, Binance Smart Chain. You can see Luna, USD Swap, cornucopias, MMDEX, cornucopias, and all the other ones. So you see nothing else here but the tokens that are living on the BEP20. And if you want to quickly check a transaction that has happened, you know, if you know that, yes, I bought some Luna yesterday. Okay, just come here very quickly. And that's a very good and easy way to filter that. What about the next one? ESC 721 tokens transactions. Well, these are beautiful NFTs. So, for example, Crypto Blades is a game. So this particular person, must love that game. And whenever you transact buying or selling or transferring an NFT, non-fungible token, that's what it is. You will see here. Analytics is a pretty cool thing, pretty cool tool that gives you an idea of your wallet address here and what has happened during time. You know, transactions, the balance, has it happened, you know, 1 year or 1 month. You can just keep a track in a record. And finally, comments. this is a good way for users to point to the fact that, for example, and this is again completely made up example, that this address was involved in a scam, and that this address is owned by a scammer. So here you could write, this, beware everybody, this wallet has been incriminated as being part of a big scam, blah blah blah. Okay. But let's go back to transactions, because now is where we actually read to read that. Now let's say that you wanted to check if, for example, this particular transaction was the one where Pip sent you the money for the prize. How do we do that? Well, we check here. So let's go and click. This is the transaction hash, also called transaction ID. Right? So click on there, and this opens up. And this is what we're going to learn to read today. And it's a good skill to have. Transaction details. So again, you have the transaction hash or transaction ID. That is the number that is unique to this particular transaction and nothing else. So if you look up this number, it will always bring up this transaction and nothing else on the blockchain. Again, go back to traditional finance, for example. If you send money overseas, or if you have used MoneyGram from overseas to send money to your country, they give you a transaction ID, transaction number. This will be the same thing on the blockchain. Then we see the status. What is status? Well, in this case, success. Nice green. So this transaction has taken place. At times you can see fail. Let me see if we can find. There you go. This is a failed one. So let's click on it and see what happened here. Maybe still thinking about it. Whenever you see that, by the way, it means that something has not happened. Has not gone well. Never mind. Don't know why my internet has just stopped working. Let's go back here. No. There you go. So if something happens, status here, fail. Now at times the blockchain actually tells you why. So it might say insufficient liquidity, anything like that. Anyway, when you see red, the transaction has failed and has not gone through. Okay, but this has gone through, all good. Let's move on. Block. What is this? Now remember that we talked about the blockchain here. Let me show you this picture. This. Okay. So imagine that every one of these rows is a block. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. The very first one is called the Genesis block. You might have heard these terms before. Okay, Genesis block number 0, and then we go 1, 2, etc., etc. So this is the same thing that we see here. Block number 16,842,516. Now, if we click here, we can see everything that happened during that block. 131 transactions and 47 internal transactions happen in that block. And if we really wanted to, because we, have got nothing else to do today, we could go and have a look at every single one of those transactions by clicking here. When did the transaction take place? The timestamp row tells us that in 5 hours and 11 minutes ago. Okay. Now this is where things get very interesting. From who originated the transaction? This particular address. Okay, which I'll show you later. We can actually click on and find out more information. Interacted with what? With this particular contract. What tokens were transferred? 151 cornucopias and 17,243 equal to 446 cornucopias. And you can see from that address to this address, from that address to this address. Okay? So let's have a look again. From which address? Click here. Obviously, we're going back to the original address. Interacted with this particular contract, which can be the contract, governing any type of smart contract. And these were the tokens that were transferred here. So obviously, in this case, they came into the wallet, okay? Because we can see from this address, from cornucopia. Just waiting until it shows up. So this is the particular contract of cornucopia, and he received these tokens in his wallet. Do we want to double check that? Yes, let's double check. Come here, and transactions, internal transactions, cornucopia. There you go. So you can see here BEP20 tokens, 5 hours and 15 minutes ago, in received 151 cornucopias, in received 17,243 cornucopias. Okay? But let's have a look at something else, because let's do something else, because in this case he only bought tokens, okay? But let's see if we can find something else okay, transfer, maybe this one. It's good. Okay, in this case, again, transaction hash, status success, block number, how long ago? 120 days and 13 hours ago. From which address? Still the same address. Interacted with this particular contract, which, by the way, it's the cake token of PancakeSwap. Tokens transferred from the address that we're checking right now to what address? Let's go and click. Okay, so these were transferred directly to PancakeSwap. So this tells us that this particular transaction, this particular wallet sent 44 cake tokens to PancakeSwap. It might have been doing that, to start a farming pool or to go into a staking pool, whatever. But see, this is how easily we can examine things. Now, let's say that I tell you, hey guys, I sent you $50 in BUSD dollars, and this is the transaction number. And I give you this, I send you a message with this, okay? So you go to BSCScan, and this is the home page. So you simply go here, search by address, transaction hash, block token. You go here, copy and paste. Then you do search, and you see everything. First of all, you can see, hey, what the heck? This happened 120 days ago, 4 months ago. Pip just told me that he just sent me $50. What's happening here? Then you have a look at this from address. Okay, not sure that this is Pip's address, but this might be. Doesn't really matter. But then you come here and you have a look at tokens transferred. So from this address to yours. Oh, hang on a second. This is not my address, guys. What is Pip telling me? This is a lie. And by the way, this is 44K. He told me that he sent me $50. Pip is lying to me. And this is where the sentence, don't trust, verify, comes from. All of a sudden, the blockchain is trustless. You don't trust anything that anyone tells you, you are able and capable of going to BSCScan, Ethscan, the Bitcoin scan, blockchain.com, and check on your own. Just thinking if we can have another example, but let me show you Ethscan. Okay, again, just examples, guys. Addresses not belonging to anyone. I think I checked this address during the example. Okay, same thing. So this is Ethscan, okay? On the Ethereum blockchain. We're checking this address. The balance of the address is 0.04 Ethereum, which right now with Ethereum at $3,135 per Ethereum, this is worth $137. This particular person also has in tokens about $200 worth of, and there's 127 worth of Story or StoreJ, a little bit of Wrapped BTC, Phoenix DAO, etc. Now the same thing happens here, and any blockchain will have something very similar to this, whether you're on Phantom, Bitcoin, Kronos, anything. So transaction, this is where the transaction ID is. ERC20, these are only those tokens that live on the Ethereum blockchain. Analytics and comments. One very minor thing that I wanted to tell you is that when you go to transactions, smart chains such as Ethereum and BSC actually tell you a little bit about what that transaction involved. So in this case, transfer simply means some coins or some tokens went from this address to another address. Here, it tells me that they deposited Ethereum somewhere. This tells me a proof that they have approved a new token to be traded or transferred on that address, etc. Okay? So just to bear in mind, let's see if we can go back here to that and see the same thing on BSCScan. Same thing, deposit, withdraw, remove liquidity. So this particular person actually had supplied liquidity on PancakeSwap. So they might have created a token that might have been a test, it might have been a scam. We just don't know. But this tells us that that particular transaction, as you can see here, there you go. So they actually are the owners of cornucopias because they have removed the liquidity for it. And it was only about $336 worth of it. So it might have been a very tiny project that didn't work out. In fact, I wanted to show you something else. This is a particular token that I was involved in before Pincel, and this I don't want to mention the names that I'm thinking right now in my head, but this very not nice person was a big scumbag and a big scammer. And look what I found as I was preparing for the lesson today. Look what he did 8 days and 19 hours ago. He removed liquidity. So 1 year ago, he locked liquidity for 1 year, and then he basically disappeared. No one could do anything. And look what he did. He removed liquidity for 122 BNB, 51 grand worth of BNB are sitting now in his wallet. By the way, if I want to see where the money went, let me just do this because PancakeSwap, so interacted with from the deployer. I keep going through. So 8 days, remove liquidity, and look at what happened. Look at where he transferred it. He went into a hot wallet. This is not his wallet, by the way, but it's the hot wallet of Fixed Float, which is an exchange. So I'm going to contact these people and say, hey guys, by the way, this particular address removed liquidity for that amount of money is a scammer. Please block that amount of money if we can. So this is how transparent the blockchain is. If we just learn the basics on how to read these transactions, we can be much, much safer on the blockchain. We can very quickly identify lies, scammers. We have had many examples on Pink Sale where project owners were saying, "Oh, my project, did really, really bad because as soon as I launched, Pink Sale sold their tokens." And then we say, "Hang on a second, the blockchain is public. Let me show you our address and the fact that we still have the tokens, and have a look at the transaction hash and who actually sold the tokens. Hello, it was the deployer, and the deployer belongs to the dev." And then you find out that that was a lie. So having these particular skills, which are, they might take a little bit of time, and I think I just stopped sharing now. They might take a little bit of time to develop. But, you do it a couple of times, 3 times, and then you learn how to do it. And then you finally are able to read what happens on the blockchain and, basically say, "Hey, you can't fool me anymore, mate. I don't trust, I verify." And that's also a motto of Bitcoin in general. Guys, I hoped that this half an hour of lesson was somewhat useful. If not, please feel free to ask questions in our channel after the AMA. Prepare, if you want to type the questions right now, do it. We're going to answer them later. But if you have actually voice questions to ask right now, please ask in the AMA or the voice chat, and I'll try to answer as much as I can. So please raise your hands, guys, if you want to ask, and I'll try to answer. The great Shell, you're unmuted.
Thank you, Pip. Hello, guys.
Pleasure. Hi.
Yes. Yeah, I want to ask a question about your project.
That
Okay.
vault.
No, I was just joking. No, a lot of persons come here and they think we are hosting actual AMAs, and they want to ask questions. Yeah. Yes. So, about the BSC scan.
I just got it. I just got you. Well,
Yes,
you should ask me, what are the 3 killers features of this project, Pip?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. So my question is, actually, I make use of the Binance exchange for most of the funds that I receive in BUSD or BNB. So I won an NFT in a project, and the person was used to paying me using a particular wallet address. So he didn't ask me if he should, send the NFT to that wallet. So he mistakenly dropped me the NFT in using my Binance wallet address. So I don't know. I want to ask: is there any way, or is anything possible? Is there anything possible to move that particular NFT to another wallet? Because on my Binance exchange, I can't, access. It's just the exchange that I'm able to. There's nothing there for NFTs and all those kind of stuff. So I wanted to ask.
So they instead of your personal wallet, they sent it to your Binance wallet, yeah?
Yes, sir. They sent it to my Binance.
Okay. And was it a BSC wallet or BNB wallet?
It was a BSC wallet.
Okay, so if that's where you get in contact with Binance, with Binance people, and you speak to them. But if they can do it, they will charge you a fee for it. I think the last time I did it once or twice, and I think it was $20, $25.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually charge you a fee for it if they can do it. At times they actually cannot do it. So it's the only thing that you can do is contact Binance. It might take a few days, but yeah, don't expect it that they will do it for free if they can.
Oh, okay. This is so helpful. I thought I lost the NFTs because it's what, yeah.
You might
Actually...
you might have lost it. They might say no, we don't deal with NFTs. But yeah, just check with them, because at the end of the day, they own that particular wallet.
Yeah. Okay. I will try. Thanks for the information.
That's okay. That's okay. And always remember, guys, not your keys, not your wallet. True. It's it's one of the, and you know what? And I'll say this very publicly. I have no funds whatsoever sitting on any centralized exchange. Nothing. Because I don't trust them anymore. Binance is good, but Binance has been really bending over backwards to please governments around the world, and I have no reasons to doubt that if the Australian government asked them to give them a list of all Australian holdings there, they would just do it in a heartbeat. And again, I've got nothing to hide, but my money and my my ledger and the amount of money I've got there, it's of no one's business. I don't want anyone to go and check what I'm doing, what I'm spending money on. So I've got no money sitting on any centralized exchange whatsoever. Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up.
That's okay. Pleasure, mate. Thank you. Thanks for being here, for asking, and for helping all the time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's have Alpha Apes. I'm muted, mate.
Okay. Thanks, Pip.
That's all right.
Yeah. Okay, but since it's public, I mean, the ledgers are public. Everybody can access it, right?
Yeah.
So is it possible for someone to access your private keys with just from your wallet? Because I think it can be decrypted. If you use something like quantum technology, it can be decrypted, so you can just get the private keys from the wallet. Is that actually possible right now?
It's a fantastic question, and we could talk about this for ages. Right now, no, it's not possible. If quantum computers were actually a real thing, were actually to come out, that could be possible, but we're probably thinking about this in 10, 15, 20 years' time. Not right now. So at the moment, unless you connect your wallet to a fake application, you give it out, you do anything like that, no one can find out your private keys just by having the address.
Oh, that's really relieving, because I used to wonder why is this thing so public, But that's good. Thanks.
No, that's okay. But you know what? You should worry about other things about being public, and that's not one of them. But yeah, definitely no. Can't happen right now.
All right. Thanks.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Helsa, I'm muted.
Okay, thank you so much, Pete. It has been...
That's all right.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for the class. It has been enlightening. I get to realize that the blockchain is quite interactive, and it's actually this open, whereby you can actually trace accounts and movements of finance.
Mm-hmm.
I quite know you that you're someone that you don't like you don't like should I say being what would I use this word? I'm trying to find the right word.
That's okay. Just take your time.
Being open, like you like your identity to be hidden on the blockchain. That in more
anonymous.
You solicit for
anonymous.
Yes, you solicit for much more anonymous. So I'm thinking that being open on the blockchain actually helps much more in tracking down scammers. But about this you're listening, I want to ask, when you find, like, in the case of you using BSCScan and then you trace where this person sent this BNB to after opening the liquidity, and then maybe the person had actually sold the BNB to another person in the other wallet, which you don't know the person, and then you're reporting that particular account, and maybe in that case, the person had actually sold the BNB. What would then happen in that situation? Would the other person now have to pay for what he was not aware that this other person was actually a scammer?
So let's take that particular example of Thunderbolt. Okay, the owner was definitely a scammer. I worked as a mod pretty much for free at the end, and he didn't pay anyone. He went away. He said that he was going to relaunch the project with version 2. He asked everyone to send tokens. He drained the liquidity the first time. It was just a big scammer. Now, because he owns the private keys, no one else has access to the deployer but him. He's the only one that, when the moment that the liquidity lock expires, which was obviously 8 days ago, he's the only one that can go on PancakeSwap and withdraw the liquidity. Now, what did he do? He withdrew the 51 grand, bastard, and excuse me the French, and he sent that money straight away to an exchange. The exchange, I actually looked it up. That exchange where he sent the money don't keep any personal information of the users, so there is nothing that they can actually do to chase the person. However, what they can do, if they are a legitimate and proper exchange, a reputable exchange, is block the money, block the wallet. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care if I never know who he is, as long as I know that he can use that money. I'm at peace with the world forever. Knowing that he can benefit from his scam, that would be the best satisfaction ever. Now, what happens if somebody else had got those keys? Well, he would be a scammer anyway, so it wouldn't bother me, because at the end of the day, whether he's the first scammer or another scammer that has scammed the scammer, they're still all really bad people, and they deserve what they're gonna get 100%.
Okay, thank you so much. I actually get this right now. Thank you. And scammer. It's actually funny, but thank you so much.
It's okay. I'll tell you a very, very short story, and I don't tell this to a lot of people, but you'll understand why. I actually scammed a scammer on purpose, because I was fed up. This was on Pincel, and I was fed up with reports of people getting scammed. So this particular person came, and what they do, the mongrels, they pretend to have, they've got my profile picture. They try to get a username very similar to mine, like instead of Aussie Peep, they might do Aussie Peepee, for example, or Aussie Piper. And then they go to people and say, hey, it's Aussie Peep, I'm here to help you, and connect to this particular application. Or what they do is they go with my image to my team members at Pincel and say, hey guy, how you going? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, good. Hey, can you help me real quick? I need some funds, and I'm going to refund you within 1 hour. So they do this all the time. I actually got one earlier today, and I told him a few choice words that I cannot be repeated in voice chat. This particular guy was saying, can you send me some money? I mean, yeah, sure. And I knew exactly from the first sentence. Yeah, sure. Why not? How much do you need? Oh, I need $1,000. So sorry, mate, I can only spare $500 right now. So yeah. Please send me $500. Please. I said, yeah, that's all cool. And while he was talking to me, I actually created a brand new wallet address. And I put the $500 sitting there, 500 BUSD, but not BNB. And as you know, if you don't have any BNB for gas, you can't you can't transfer any money. So I said, mate, I've got the money sitting here in this address, and I actually copied and pasted the address. I just don't have any BNB to send it to you. Can you please send me $10 BNB? And I will send it to you. And the stupid idiot did. So he sent me $10.
That's funny.
He sent me $10. And I said, you stupid idiot. That will teach you to try to scam people. And then I gave it away.
That's actually
Anyway,
very funny.
that's
And
another
actually
story.
funny.
Anyway, that's when I didn't have a lot of things to do. I had a little bit of time up my hands. But anyway, thank you. Next one up, DOJ, mate. Unmuted.
Hey, Peep.
Hi, mate.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very funny story you gave there. Yep. I want to ask about the blocks in the blockchain. I'd like to know, you showed us an example of an address that made a transaction, which you showed us like $51. I would like to know, is it possible for the information on the block to be modified, or how safe are these informations that like these ones that you just showed us now? Is it possible for someone to just go there, and change some things in the blockchain? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to ask.
I do, and that's a fantastic question, and it can raise up so many answers. But in short, no, and that's why we can believe we can believe the blockchain, and we don't need banks anymore. We don't need mediators. We don't need anyone, because we can trust the blockchain fully. No one can touch it. And why do we know that? Because once, and we talked a little bit about this with the privacy in the blockchain class. Once I send the transaction, it gets broadcast among the network, and then the whole network, including the miners, especially the miners, will have to agree that transaction is legit and can take place. Now, when all the network agrees, then it gets sent back and the block is finalized. So at that particular point, no one can rewrite it. No one can delete any of the information. No one can edit it. It's called immutable. It's the immutability of the blockchain. Now, having said that, what happens if a transaction is sent, and we're going to get a little bit complicated, but who are the miners that mine the block? Who are the ones that say yes, this is right or not? In proof of work blockchains like Bitcoin, it's the miners. In proof of work blockchains, like Ethereum is going to become, it's the ones that have the wallets open. Now let's say that, for example, in Bitcoin, more than 51% of the miners agree that another transaction is true and not that particular one. That's when you have a fork. And when you have a fork, that's really bad, because right at that point, you can't trust the blockchain anymore, because now you've got two blockchains. You've got one that was the original one, another one that is the new one. Which one can you believe? And that's the issue. And that's why if you have blockchains that are not fully decentralized, where one particular person or group of people own more than 51% of the mining power, that blockchain pretty much, you run away from it. That's also why Bitcoin is the best, because especially now after China with the ban, computers and miners are all over the world, and no one owns more than 51%. If you have heard in the past 51% attacks, you can look them up. That's exactly what they are. They are scammers taking over the blockchain, minting tokens nonstop, minting blocks, and then getting these tokens or coins, and then going and sell them on centralized exchanges. Very rare now this happens, but yeah, it's a fantastic question. But in short, No, once the block is written, no one can change it.
All right. Thank you. That was very explanatory. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you. Lillian, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. You are doing great.
How are you?
I'm fine. I joined the class very late, but I have a question I want to ask because I was talking to a friend last month. She told me that her account was hacked or scammed. That she lost all her money in her Ethereum wallet. I don't know if it's related, but I just said I was going to ask in the group chat. But thank God for this class. How possible is that? Because I want to know. Because like my own account now is so encrypted that before I can open, the thing always require my fingerprint often as possible. Even if I open it now in a few seconds, it will just log. Then she called that she was crying that her account was hacked or so. I don't know how possible is that. I want to ask. Is it possible?
So it is possible. It's actually easier than you think, and especially when especially now with DeFi, if you connect your wallet to an application that you don't know, or to people sending you a direct message on Telegram, when you connect, these people can actually find out your private keys and empty your wallets completely. So it is possible. Other times, you might inadvertently, send the private keys. Somebody might ask, they might fake that they are the customer service of Crypto Investors channel. Hey, Lillian, this is Pip. I heard that you have an issue. In order for me to help you, I need the private key of your wallet. And you say, where do I find that? And I tell, you find this here, click settings, you give it to me. Once I've got the private key, I can empty your wallet. I can take all your money. So it is easier. It is easy to be hacked if you trust people. And that's why I say over and over again, you can't trust anyone on crypto. It's terrible, but you can't.
Okay. The private key you're talking about, sorry, I'm taking more time. Is it like my password?
No. So what wallet are you using?
I'm using what's this wallet name? Smart. Let me check the name. Trust Wallet.
Okay. So you have a password to actually open the wallet, correct?
Yes, I do. I use my fingerprints.
Okay, so that is simply to open the wallet on your telephone or your computer. Your private key is something else. So if you went into settings and you say show private keys, that is the private keys that if you store them somewhere safe and you don't give to anyone, it doesn't matter what happens to your to Trust Wallet. It doesn't matter what happens to your telephone or your computer. With that private key, in 20 years' time, you will be able to access those funds again.
Oh, okay. So maybe perhaps she has given a private key or it was hacked, because I was so confused. I wasn't believing her when she was telling me.
Some people can also lie. Definitely being hacked happens, but some people can just say, I got hacked and I can't send you the money. And it's the old way. In Australia, when I had customers here and they had to pay and they didn't pay, I used to say, guys, call them on the phone and say, can you please pay? Or the usual sentence, the money, the check is in the mail. The check is in the mail. And so how like you live 20 kilometers from me. How long is this postman gonna take to send this stupid letter to me? And it was it might take a month, 2 months. It was just a lie. So yeah, it depends. Being hacked can happen, but at times they can just lie because they don't want to pay you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
That's
the
all right.
explanation.
Yeah, pleasure, Lillian. Thank you. Now we've got Akeem and then Sophia, and then we need to wrap it up, guys. Akeem, please go ahead. I don't need to unmute you.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Even Shep has dragged my leg the other time. He said I could not raise my hand. So how am I going to do it?
That's
Okay.
right, you can.
Uh, yeah. Sorry, I won't take much time. Just that
Okay.
in as much as that I know that it's good to pay tax to government for development and other things like that. But some government are very crazy. So my question now is this: if we are talking about a blockchain, it's a secretive place whereby one can hide its information and so on and so forth. So I wonder, what if I decide, if I'm living in a country whereby I'm supposed to pay tax, and I decide I don't want to pay tax based on cryptocurrency? How do they get to know actually that I'm trading crypto? Must I give them my information that I'm trading crypto? How do they get to the blockchain to know exactly what I have and to know what I'm paying? That's what I want to know.
I don't know how detailed my answer should be, but in short, if you have never done KYC with any exchange or any platform and connected your wallet to that platform, no one will ever know what you're doing.
Which means that if I don't use exchanges, I use something like decentralized, it's possible for me to evade tax.
It's we discussed that in privacy on the blockchain. There are ways that you can still be extra sure, because really, if you, for example, if you don't use a VPN, a virtual private network, or even a virtual machine, if you were targeted by a government, they can get into your computer in a heartbeat. But if you are not somebody that they're looking for, anything like that, provided you've never done KYC with Binance or with KCC or whatever, KuCoin, and you're just using your decentralized exchanges, how do they know that that's your wallet? No one can know. Many people, when they travel overseas, they even delete their wallets and they just remember their private keys, the private 12 words password or passphrase, and who knows anything about it? No one but you. And I'm not going to go more into detail, otherwise some governments may come after me otherwise.
It's okay, Pete. Thank you.
All good. No worries. Thank you. Let's hear from Sophia. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Pete. Thank you so much. Can I ask a
Right.
question?
Sure. Please. Yes, please do.
Thank you so much. How are blockchain transactions checked for accuracy?
Sorry, can you repeat, please? No.
Okay. How are blockchain transactions checked for accuracy?
How the transactions what?
How are blockchain transactions checked for accuracy?
Check for accuracy?
Yeah.
You don't need to. It's all automatic, and that's what we were saying before. It's the validators, the miners, that check if everything is correct, and if not, they send it back, as it were, with a fail. This transaction didn't take place. So the validators check if everything is okay. Once they do, it's a simple transaction.
Okay. I have one more question. Can I ask?
Yeah.
What happens when a transaction is validated in a blockchain?
When the transaction is what?
What happens when a transaction is validated in a blockchain?
When it's validated, it becomes part of that block, and no one can ever change it. It becomes part of the blockchain forever.
Okay, thank you for answering me. Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Pleasure. Okay, one more since he's there. Sir Chief, last question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, mate. Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you very much. I was listening when you were talking about scammers and your story, all those things. I was listening. So, but
Yeah.
there is something I want to ask. You know, we are always advised to go and make research about a particular project before investing. Now, these scammers, they know that you are gonna make a research about their project. So sometimes some of them do have some written things about their project, now post it online. So when you research about it, then you see it and you think that yes, this project is legit. I know you are getting me. Now, is there any other way you can know that yes, this project is a scam? Apart from going to do research and seeing their project online, yes, it really exists. Is there any other way you can get to know that yes, so this project is not legit one, is a scam?
Okay, well, that's a very good question as well. And in short, it's still part of doing research, and the way that I do it is, do they have KYC? Who did they do KYC with? Do I trust the company that they did KYC with? Have they doxed themselves? Can I see YouTube videos? Can I see them on their websites? Can I see their faces? Have they done more projects in the past? What has happened to those projects? Have they just let them go? Have they failed, or are they still there? Is there anyone vouching for them? Do they have venture capitalists, incubators behind them? What type of tokenomics do they have? How botted is their Telegram channel? Does it say 20 million people, 20 million members, and only 30 online? Obviously, if I see something like that, I run away. I run away.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, all things like that. But
yeah.
At times we can still get scammed at the end of the day, just like you can get scammed in real life. It's you just do your best to cover all bases. But yeah.
Yes, because all these things, they can still be lying on top. They can still be lying. Yes, they do their KYC with so person, maybe a legit person. So, well, I understand what you said. I understand. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, mate. Thank you. And we just got one more written question from Sins that I think he's got a tropical rainstorm where he is at the moment, so he's written this question. I just want to ask if some nerd scammers can like dox ourselves just by using these transactions in our MetaMask address. Like, for example, when we're always using our MetaMask address by sending tokens to a centralized exchange like Binance, can they track our name and location by doing that? Yes. We talked about this last week. It is scary as hell, but it is possible. Again, they're probably not going to waste time with us guys. And again, since I might not know you, you might have millions, billions of dollars in your wallet address. Myself, no one is going to spend time, researching my addresses because I don't have that much. But yes, because the blockchain is not anonymous, it's pseudonymous, which means that if you keep using the same address over and over again, you can be tracked. Your IP address can be tracked, and if they can also check your IP address and what you're doing with your telephone, they can just wait outside at a location where that particular device goes every day, find out who you are, follow you back at home, get a gun out and say, hey, withdraw all your Bitcoin and send it to me. And you know what? It has happened before. So guys, always be extra safe. Ideally, again, if you don't have huge amounts of money, this might not matter as much. But otherwise, always use a new address for every transaction. Cover your tracks with VPNs, virtual machines. Never, ever, ever run risks. And I'm not talking now about government's taxes. Do the right thing. As Akim says, we need to pay our taxes for the governments, for hospitals, roads, police. We understand that. I'm actually talking about security. There's a lot of criminals out there, and if they can smell that they can make easy money, they will. And it has happened before. And with these guys, I'm happy Alpha Apes. Great. This is what the classes are for. Having said that, guys, I thank you so much. I don't have time to continue this right now, but please, if you think of any other question about what we discussed today, write it down like Sins did, and I'll try to answer. We can discuss it among ourselves, and if I know the answer, I will reply in the chat. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for participating. I hope that you got something out of this, and I'll see you all at the next AMA. Thank you. Bye.